What's going on, everyone? It's currently the 23rd of September 2020. I'm currently 25 days out from my first bodybuilding competition. That's the Ukdfba finals, and today we're going to do something a little bit different. I know previously I've done full days of eating or training or something like that, but today, well, this week I'm going to go through with you some top tips to get lean. Now, these top tips are things that I've picked up myself over the years and tried and tested over multiple years of training. I found them to be extremely beneficial for me, so they may or may not be beneficial for you, but I definitely think they're useful tips to get lean. So without further ado, let's get on to tip number one. Now, this tip is extremely prominent for today, as today is a rest day. What I'll usually do on a rest day, I'll get up and do a morning cardio. So you might not be thinking it's an actual rest day, but considering I'm not doing any weight training, it's a rest day for me. So yeah, fasting. Fasting is what I do pretty much every morning when I do cardio. What this allows me to do is prolong my first meal of the day, so when I do get around to eating my meals, they're in a shorter space of time. This is also known as intermittent fasting, and it's a very useful tool when dieting. So in the morning, basically what I'll do is, instead of eating anything, I'll either have a monster, 0-calorie monster, or a black coffee with all my supplements, and then I'll head straight to the gym and do my cardio. But when I get back, I'm absolutely starving to my first meal. So yeah, I'll show you my first meal when I'm having it. Yeah, so this is the first meal of the day. You already know what it is if you watch the other videos. If you haven't though, it's 2 egg whites, 2 whole eggs, handful of spinach, and 1 slice of toast. So just currently chilling on my bed, just jumped out the shower then, and it's almost time for meal 2. But what I do is, in between meals, I like to get pretty much around half of this to all of it down me. So that's around 500 ml to a litre. And that brings us to the second tip, is staying hydrated, people. As you may already know, the body is 60% water and the muscles are 70 to 75% water. So just from that, it's clear how important water is to the body. But in addition to that, being adequately hydrated optimizes cell function around the whole body and improves digestion. So by optimizing your water intake, you're indirectly helping yourself burn more fat. And also, if you're drinking more water, you're going to feel satiated. Whenever I drink a massive glass of water after a meal, I instantly feel fuller. So yeah, that's tip number 2. So this is meal 2. What we've got is Greek yogurt, berries, pita bread, chicken, and 50 grams of veg. So this brings us on to the third point, everyone, and that is high volume foods. So pretty much all the foods that I've got here are high volume foods in relation to their calories. And what this means is we're going to be feeling fuller for the amount of calories that we're actually consuming. Say, compare this to a protein bar, for example. Say if you had a protein bar versus this whole meal, there might be similar calories, but the volume is a lot different. So by having these higher volume foods, we're going to be feeling more satiated for the same amount of calories. So yeah, pretty simple one. That's it for tip 3. So as you just seen there, that's meal 3 for the day. And with that, we've got tip number 4. So as you probably noticed, with all the meals I've had throughout today, they are very, very low fat. So my diet at the moment, as you'll see at the end, I'll put the full macro split in. Basically, my diet is extremely low fat. I'm having between around 45 and 50 grams of fat every day. Now that enables me to hit my calorie goal while still having a decent amount of carbs in my diet. The main scientific reason behind that is, you may or may not know, fat has 9 calories per gram and carbs have 4 calories per gram. So therefore, it just means that you can have more carbs than fat while still sticking to your overall calorie goal. Obviously, you've got different diets like keto diets and the Atkins diet, where carbohydrates aren't featured as prominently as fats. However, for the purpose of my diet at the moment, this is what works best for me, and this is what I use to get lean. So yeah, that's tip number 4. So yeah, what's going on, everyone? Just finished up in the gym then, had a leg day, trained in a different gym today, trained at Ultraflex Normanton. I'm usually training at the Leeds one, but I was at the Normanton one today. So right, this is tip number 5. And this tip is a little bit contradictory of my first tip, which is delaying the first meal, so fasting in the morning. Basically, this tip is spacing meals out regularly, so regular intervals throughout the day. So you might be thinking, Will, why are you saying to fast and prolong the first meal and then to space meals out evenly? Basically, I'm saying after I've had the first meal of the day, what I'll do is I'll make sure I'm eating every 2.5 to 3 hours. So that's regular protein intakes, regular carb intakes throughout the whole day. For most people in the diet, when they're in a surplus or even in maintenance, it's not actually that important to do this. But for me, as I'm in a calorie deficit, I'm really trying to get nutrients in my body throughout the whole day. This just allows me to feel satiated, as honestly, I'm starving constantly throughout the whole day. But this is what we've got here. We've got 90 grams of cereal and we've got 200 grams of berries with some almond milk in that. So yeah, that's tip number 5 for you all. Morning everyone. Coming at you with the second to last tip here. I know all these tips are being in a bit of a weird order, but I'm trying to film them over the space of the whole week, so it's going to happen. So this tip is using sweeteners within your diet. It's something I've picked up massively during prep. And a few things that I use in my diet are Ultra, Monster. So I've got a few different flavours of these. And these just help me out so much. Any sugar-free drinks in general, really. I have low calorie squash. I have that with quite a few meals. And also with my oats in the evening, I have a few drops of these vanilla My Protein flavour drops. Basically, just imagine if you weren't dieting and you ate cake mix. And then imagine if you were dieting like me and you eat that. They taste exactly the same. I'm not even lying. But this morning before cardio, I'm not going to have a Monster. I'm having a black coffee instead, just a double espresso. So I'll probably have that Monster later on during the day. I'll catch up with you probably later sometime today to give you the final tip of the day. So what's happened, everyone? I'm finally at the final tip of the day. So this is tip number 7. And this tip is probably considered the most important out of them all. And it is sleep. Now, people often neglect sleep so much. And they'll usually put it aside and prioritise other things in their daily routine. However, sleep is so important for so many different bodily functions. It plays a key role in general health, adequate recovery, and so many other specific health benefits. More specifically, it's even linked to appetite hormones, so people who have more sleep will tend to get less cravings the following day or just generally within their life. Personally, I get between 7 and 9 hours sleep every night, and this depends on how I'm feeling, what time I go to bed usually, or really how my life's going at a specific point in time. I'll always try and get at least 7. That's really what works best for me. But yeah, that's pretty much it for this video. That was my final tip. These are my 7 key tips. I hope you enjoyed the video. Make sure to like it, subscribe to the channel, and I'll be back very soon with some more exciting content. Stay lean, everyone.